Hello and welcome to the latest webinar from Essent. Today we're going to tell you a bit about Essent One, the new cloud-based business platform, the new way for you to take care of business. Then we'll take you inside the program and let you see just how it works. My name is Doug Brill. I'm the Essent Marketing Coordinator and I specialize in the promotional products industry. I'm also your moderator today. Before we begin, a very brief overview of Essent. Essent is a leader in providing comprehensive business management solutions since 1981. Essent has been serving distributors, decorators, and suppliers in the promotional products industry since the year 2000, and $3 billion in commerce flows through Essent Solutions each year. So what is Essent One? Essent One is a cloud-based business platform. It manages the critical parts of your business, including customer relationship management, order management, and product research, and it's powered by the same Essent commerce engines that have driven business success for decades, so you know it's built on a rock-solid foundation. And with that, I'll turn it over to your presenter, Brian Schaefer. Brian is the Vice President of Sales for Essent. He's also a specialist in the promotional products industry. Brian will tell you more about Essent One, then I'll take you inside the program so you can see it for yourself.
All right, thank you, Doug. As an introduction, as Doug mentioned, Essent One is a CRM platform. So let's talk about what CRM is. So for customer relationship management, by definition, it's a tool used to manage the interactions with both your current and your future clients. CRM utilizes technology as a way to organize and automate those interactions, and it synchronizes the efforts between multiple departments in your company, including sales, marketing, and customer service. CRM is typically a tool designed for sales reps, so you think about all the different things your sales reps do, from prospecting to sourcing products to quoting to closing the sale, following up with the vendor and the artwork, managing the customer relationship. There's a lot of things that a sales rep needs to do, so you need your CRM to manage all those different full customer life cycle, from the source to where they came from, the quotes we need to close, the sales orders we need to make sure delivered, is the customer paying us, all the way out to what's the future opportunities for new business with this client. So the goal of CRM is to make your sales reps more efficient, and you think about all the different things your sales reps are doing right now that are redundant, like entering the customer information every single order, having to type things in over and over again, retyping things in from product research and then typing into a quote, and then retyping that into a sales order, and then retyping that into a purchase order. And then if somebody calls and asks to do a reorder or ask a question on an order, how much time does it take your sales rep to go look up that order, jump into a different system, find that, or worse yet, have to run to the file cabinet to find that? So the goal of CRM is to use automation and technology to allow more time for your sales reps to actually sell. So Essent One is a visual interface that makes it a very intuitive graphical look for CRM, but it's more than just looks. It's a dashboard designed for efficiency for those sales tools. There's no drilling around looking for data. It shows you clearly what's the next step you need to do, and it allows you to actually take that step. It works anywhere on any device, so it works from a desktop, laptop, all the way down to a smartphone. You can work from the office, from the road, even from your clients, and allows you to stay connected with your business wherever you're at. As each person on this call has unique business rules, so the Essent One allows you to make those business rules, but then it's going to work to automate your business rules. It ensures the orders are well formed, so it saves your entire operation time and money. We're going to walk through a demonstration today, and as Doug mentioned, this is built on decades of Essent technology. It yields powerful results as an organization. It's a very friendly, intuitive interface, and it's accessible anywhere. It's configurable, scalable, and allows you to manage the complexity of the promotional product industry with a very simplified interface. So with that being said, I'm going to pause my PowerPoint. I'm going to jump into the demonstration here. We'll take a look at it. So this is Essent One, and the first interface gives us a graphical dashboard here to show the sales rep what they've done, what they need to do, and what their future funnel look like. So I can see past sales, last month, 3 months, 6 months, my sales, my profitability. It allows me to see all the orders in the system, what's my customers expecting to receive today, this week, this month. So any of the orders that I'm managing, I can just click into the detail and then see what I need to do. On my order side of things, I can see the dollar value, my profitability, my what's been shipped, what's been invoiced, what's been paid, and what's been vouched, so I know where it's at in the funnel. I can see my calendar of to-dos of tasks I need to do. Again, what needs to be done today, this week, this month. And again, I can click into my calendar and see what needs to be done when. Quotes, as you'll see here in a moment when we walk through it together, have expiration dates of how long the pricing is valid for, so I can see what quotes are expiring today, this week, so the pricing is no longer valid, so I need to follow up and close those. And then last but not least, the future opportunities of events that are coming up this spring, this summer, the dollar value, the expected close date, and the probability percentage of closing, so I can see what my future funnel looks like. A big portion of CRM is managing the customer data. So all of the detail of the customer. So let's jump into an example of a customer here. We'll walk through that together. So first off, CRM allows me to manage the logo of the customer. So I can put that there and see the logo of the organization. I can see their address, their phone, their fax. I can see all the people involved in our relationship with this client. So from Acme's perspective as my customer, who's their primary buyer? And I'm typically selling to Hope. Who's my sales rep that's interacting with Hope? And that's Will. And if I have a project manager or a customer service rep dealing with the relationship as well. I can designate industries that I sell into. So as I go through this demonstration today with you here, these drop-down menus are defined by you. So I'm using this as an illustration, but you control the data yourself. So this allows me to see what portion of my sales, what's my profitability in the education versus the healthcare industry, so I can make marketing decisions. I can also designate different classifications of customers. Again, gold, silver, and bronze are just my examples, and that will default the pricing rules for a customer. What is their price on a product? What is their margin or markup on products? So different customers can get different pricing based on how I classify them. I can manage all the addresses with an organization, so I can have a whole Rolodex of addresses. Not only does it allow me to see a list of addresses, but also enforces the business rules of which addresses are billing addresses and which addresses are shipping addresses. It allows me to manage all of the contacts within an organization, so I can see their name, their title, their phone number, their department, and then I can drill into detail from there of their phone, email, etc. Even I can even draw all the way out to e-commerce and see what they're doing in company stores. Properties are user-defined fields, so if there's anything you want to track, filter, or report about a customer, a vendor, a product, or an order, you can add your own field. So in this example of their logo color, I could run a report. So I've got all these extra purple shirts whose logo is purple, and I could run a report. Anybody whose value is purple, I can then generate a sales or a marketing campaign based on my own user-defined criteria. You can have multiple files associated with an organization, so this could be Word documents, scanned documents. In this case, I have it for artwork, so I could go into that and see their artwork. Activities are the follow-up to-dos, so in the dashboard it showed me my follow-up to-dos. Here are the follow-up to-dos for Acme. So I can see who else, so in this case I'm the sales rep, but John is calling them to get an art proof, so I can see what's going on with that. And probably the most important tie-in from CRM to operations is trying to automate the order entry process so you can enter an order within minimum keystrokes. So in this case, I can set up shipping rules, so it automatically preloads that I'm shipping to Birmingham, Alabama by UPS ground. So all that information will pre-populate every single order. My job is just to manage the exceptions, and Essent One is going to manage everything else. The accounting side, the invoicing, so what are their terms? Do we allow overruns and underruns? Do we charge them for an overrun? Do we discount them for an underrun? Do they have a purchase order on file? So again, all the accounting information will default order by order. As we go through the order entry process here in a second, you'll see that there are documents that get delivered out to the customer. So there's quotes, sales order acknowledgments, shipping confirmation, invoices, statements, etc. Each document, you can designate who it goes out to and how it goes out. So an example of an invoice here, I can see it's being emailed to the primary billing contact. A second copy goes out to a collection contact. A third copy is being mailed to a project manager, and my internal sales rep receives a blind carbon copy of the email. So at the end of the day, I just click deliver, and it automatically sends out 4 copies based on the customer preference. I can even customize the cover letter based on any specific customer roles. Essent One does integrate with e-commerce for company stores. We're not going to get into a lot of that today with the time limits of a webinar, but it can integrate with the storefronts or any online reporting. And then last but not least, you can designate an order approval process where as orders get submitted, the orders go on hold and email out to the client for them to approve that. So you can customize that here based on the customer preference. So that gives you a brief background of the customer detail. So now I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the order process here from quote to sales order to purchase order. So as you generate a quote, you can select the customer that you want to quote. So we'll use Acme here. And then within Acme, who is the contact person that I want to quote? And then last but not least, this order class. So these are different classifications of sales orders that you define. So again, this is just my example of types of orders. And this allows you to filter your sales numbers based on your defined criteria. So in my example, I could run a report of dropship versus program orders, or how many orders came in from the web versus the back office, or how many samples did this customer give out. It also enforces different shipping rules, different sales commission rules for different types of orders. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to automate different scenarios all with one engine. So as I generate this quote for Acme, it automatically gives me the next sequential number in my database. So for me, it's number 212. So all the way through from quote to sales order to purchase order to picking the shipping to invoicing, at any stage in the process, I could find this order by number 212. I can also give it a title, and that's going to be searchable all the way through the process. At any step in this process, I can designate an enhanced date, and that'll prioritize the closing and the fulfillment of this order. I can see it automatically defaulted all the sales information, address information, the pricing is valid for 10 days. So the most important part of the quote is what products are going to quote. So let's look at 2 different examples of products here in our webinar today. So the first is you can have predefined products. These could be items that are physically in inventory. They could be customer-owned items. They could be items that are on your website but aren't physically in warehouse. So I could search for it by the name of the product or the item number. If I don't know it, I could just jump to the product by the category and then select the product. So in this case, it's an apparel item. So I can select the size and in this case, the color. And I can see it shows me the different price options. So based on the quantity I entered for this order, it will automatically default to the appropriate column pricing here. If the item was physically in inventory, in this case I have 3 different warehouses, but none is in inventory at any of them. If it was in inventory, I can have visibility out to the warehouse and see what's actually in stock. So here I add this product to the order. And one of the most valuable things that Essent One does is to have a product configuration engine. So all the people on this call have quite the extensive knowledge of the industry. So you know what information you need to capture for an apparel item versus a mug versus a pen versus a lanyard. But as you grow, not every order entry person knows that information. So you can set up based on the type of product, the system can prompt you for what information you want to capture. So things like decorating information. So where's the logo go? Do you want to embroider or silk screen? Is it a new logo or an existing logo? How many colors are in the logo? Do you want multiple logos on it or a single logo on it? So you can define what information you want to capture. So number 1, it makes sure your order entry people are efficient. Number 2, this information can go out to the customers that are signing off on the specs so everyone lives happily ever after. Number 3, this information can flow all the way from quote to sales order to purchase order, so there's no communication errors on rekeying of information. And last but probably most important here at the quoting phase, as I answer these questions, it'll automatically adjust the pricing of the quote. So in this example, because I wanted it embroidered, it added $52. Because of the new logo, it added a tape creation of $27.50. Because it had more than 2 colors in it, added an additional $2.50 for extra color charge. So this quote just adjusted by $80, and all I did was answer the question, and everything is accurate both for the customer, for the sales rep, purchase order, all the way out through to invoicing, just by using that power of that product configuration engine. Okay. Another type of product we can add to this order is a custom product. So that is just that. It allows you to literally freeform and create a product right inside of the sales order details. So I can type it in, I can copy and paste it in. I can also integrate with product research. So if I go out to ESP, I can search for a product. So let's say I want to look for a mug on ESP. When I do so, it's going to actually pull back the ASI search results right here on my screen. So I can select the mug I want, and it'll bring in the item number, the name of the mug, the cost, the price, the description, the supplier, the purchase order information. So all I do is enter in my quantity. I can, in my example, because my category subcategories are a little different than ASI, so I'm going to confirm with my category subcategories, and I can add this to the order. So that's simply, I just went out and found a custom product from ESP and added that to my quote. Now, any product can have that product configuration engine dictate information. So just like for the shirt, for the mug, here's a mug that I never sold before. I went and found it on ESP, and it comes in and asks me the number of colors, ability to upload artwork, etc. So when I answer the questions, it'll obviously the questions for a mug were different than the questions for the shirt, but you can see it automatically adds the extra color charge, automatically added the setup charge, so the pricing of the mug adjusted just like the pricing of the shirt did. So the product configuration works for products you predefined or any custom products you're bringing in from ESP in this example. So in this example now, I've got these 2 different products. I can email the quote out to the supplier, to the customer. So it'll bring up the email here. You can customize your template of what you want your quote to look like. So do you want to show the product image, yes or no? Do you want to roll the price of the embroidery into the price of the shirt? Do you want to break that out separately? Do you want it one product per page, multiple products per page? So again, it's all configured by you. And then after the customer approves that, all you do is click a button, and now that quote becomes a sales order. So now we've gone from CRM to quote to sales order. So we've gone from customer management to sales. Now we're into the operational side of things. So the sales order can dictate the shipping rules. So where is it shipping? How's it shipping? So again, it all defaults. So order entry is simple, but if I want to ship it a different method, if I want to ship it to a different address, I always have the flexibility to manage the exceptions. Same thing from the invoicing side. So in this case, it shows me the dollar value. This customer has a credit limit. I can see where that falls within that. They've given me a blanket purchase order. If there's a credit card on file, I can reuse that credit card. So the credit card information will all be encrypted for PCI compliance. All I can do as order entry is unmask the last 4 digits to select the card, but all the other information is secure for PCI compliance. You can even dictate the invoicing rules. So with Essent One, you can invoice it at any time. So I can invoice it when the item's shipped. I can invoice when the order's complete. I can wait until I get my bills in from my vendors and then invoice, or I could even schedule the invoice and do a pro forma invoice even though nothing's been shipped or nothing's been vouched yet. So again, in short, you can invoice at any time. If I require a prepayment, I could get that deposit. So let's say I get a deposit here of $500, and in this case, I'm doing it by check, so I can enter in the check number, and I can apply that prepayment on this order, so at the end, I'm only going to invoice for the balance due. You can attach any relevant information that you need to here, so I'm going to attach artwork to here. So I can do that. So if I select the artwork here, select this logo, and just drag and drop it onto the order. So now the artwork's there. So I can even designate that to automatically go out to the decorators, the side effect of the purchase order. And if I come back and duplicate this order next year, that artwork is attached there. Sales commission is an important part of our business, so I can go in here and I can see the relevant detail of the commission. So based on the margin, where they fall in the table, you customize your tables. I can see what's commissionable, what's not commissionable, and I can confirm what the sales rep's commission will be. This is estimated right now because we haven't vouched our bills yet, but at the end it'll show me the final commission. I can financially see the price I'm selling things for, the cost I'm buying it for, any rebate or royalty I'm paying out, my margins, my profit, my commission, and my net profit. And then in summary, I have my one-page summary of my shipping information, my billing information, my product information, my payment information, my financial information, all the way down to my sales commission information, all in one screen summary. So now I've gone from quote to sales order. So the last step then is to generate the purchase order. So in this case, I have 3 different suppliers all tied back to one purchase order. All the information is defaulting based on what I've already set up in the sales order, but I could go in and I could override and have things shipped to a different address, or if everything looks good, I can just generate the purchase order, and now I've got 3 different purchase orders tied back to this one sales order. So each purchase order, I can see the details of it. I can go out and view the details of the purchase order. I can again do a print preview of the purchase order. I can confirm all the items on the purchase order. Once I'm comfortable with everything, at that point I can just submit it. That will deliver the purchase order. Just like we saw from the customer side where you can have preferred delivery method, the same thing applies to the supplier side. So these purchase orders can go out by email, they can go out by fax, or they can go out EDI through the order tracks network. So in summary, I just went from CRM, a dashboard view, to customer management, to quote, to sales order, to purchase order, all through Essent One. So that gives you a summary of the capabilities here of Essent One. So I'm going to jump back over here to my PowerPoint here to wrap things up with you and with Doug here. Okay. So in summary, Essent One is a tool for sales reps to become more efficient. It provides a very simple, intuitive interface, and it ensures organized follow-up on those activities and to-do, and allows you to work anywhere to do it. It ensures accurate pricing and margins. There's eliminates human error by automating things through the product configuration and reducing redundant rekeying of information. There's always clear action items of what needs to be done next, and allows you to completely manage all the details of your customers and your prospects. So again, my name is Brian Schaefer. I've enjoyed working with you today, and I'm going to hand it back off to Doug so where you can find out more information about it.
Thank you very much, Brian. The best way to learn more about Essent One is to get your own one-on-one demonstration. Just visit essent.com/EssentOne demo to schedule a session. It's free. You'll be able to view and review the specific features that interest you the most, and you'll be free to ask as many questions as you like specific to you, your company, and how Essent One can be the new way for you to take care of business. Again, that's essent.com/EssentOne demo for your free one-on-one. Thanks again for attending today's webinar. Essent One, the new way for you to take care of business.